So I recorded this video once and then I realized that I didn't have my microphone plugged in. Here we go again. This is the 1 minute chart from today. It was a great run. We're up, what, 6.7% today. And I want to play something that I said on November 11th. That was last Thursday. And remember on Friday that I also said, you know what? I think that my charting was a day ahead. There was two shoulders, not one. It was complex, and I just made a little mistake, and I didn't give my forecast the day it needed. So today we saw the price action fulfill the expectations that I had on Friday. And if that same logic applies to what I was expecting to see today, then tomorrow would be the big day, the big run up, and this big spike in implied volatility. Although we did see implied volatility rise today, and it did spike on that rise. But I'll talk about that later. Right now, I want to get into what I was saying. Here it is. It's really quick. I love it. Just draw a line. I just say, hey, where's the head? I'm just going to go right here. Let's go up like this. 6.53%. Wow, that'd be a nice day. I would love to see a 6.5% green day tomorrow. Okay, that was me on Thursday. Obviously, that 6.5% move happened today. I actually want to show what that looks like. Going to do a little clicking around here, and I apologize. I'm just going to do this and not edit it because I've already recorded this once, and it takes quite a while. Because the first take was definitely not the one that I stuck with. And I'm going to switch these drawings over, and I'm going to line it up to what I had shown in the YouTube video. You see, I already did this. I already walked through this once, so I've got these other drawings pulled up. This is particularly how this topping pattern could play out in a neutral way and just continue the sideways grind. We could always enter into that pesky triangle or pennant and bounce around in there before we find one of the lower price targets. That could happen because if this run stops here in the gap resistance, then we have a head and shoulders top. And we just saw this little itty bitty inverted head and shoulders, which is what I'm zooming in on now to show you. I'm going to pull back this a little bit so you can just compare where the neckline is and how the price moved in this completely, I won't say predictable, but logical way. This makes sense statistically. And it is nice to see this move continue up into the gap zone and not stop. That's making me optimistic that this gap is going to fill. And it could fill in after hours or pre-market, and that'd be a big gap up. And that big gap up would be what I'm expecting. So it all is coming together. I have a lot of reasons to feel bullish. Now, I don't just want to pump a bunch of hype out there, but it seems to make sense right now because the bottom is definitely in my opinion. So I showed the 1 minute chart and I showed the 15-minute chart. Let's go on to the 4 hour and I'll get that time frame pulled up. And here we go. How is our double bottom shaping out? And it's looking good. All right, we have a waffle handle coming off of the second run of the double bottom here. And this double bottom is breaking out of a downward channel. So the price target for the double bottom is $51. And that's important because that puts us right up here at this peak. And if we pass this peak, there's a double bottom on my weekly charts that will be confirmed at that point. And this is the big one. Because if this bottom comes about, the price target is $86. So if we experience another May to June like run, that's what I'm looking for. And then, momentum. You never know how much momentum is going to carry this stock upward. So just keep that in mind. Once that momentum gets going, it can run away fast, especially with all that short pressure. Those positions probably will close to some extent at that time. So we saw the weekly. Now we're going to go into the daily charts. And I'm just going to run through this briefly. This is what I'm expecting to see. I'm expecting to see some really big, tall, fat green candles tomorrow, specifically to bring us back into this channel. and that would be in the high 40s. I think that's appropriate. This would also bust the head and shoulder top that is potentially forming. If this inverted head and shoulder has a run that busts that head and shoulders top, then I think that the broadening top that's forming may actually play out bullishly, which also has a price target in the 50s, as does this symmetrical triangle, right? There's just a lot going on at that price point, and we've had a lot of bottoming action, and today was a pretty good confirming move that the trend is officially up. The average 30-day volume is 39,006,000. And the actual volume today is 39,842,000. So to see that big move outside of the triangle and upward would confirm that this is the real breakout. On these other breakouts, we did have a similar move here where the volume was way above average volume and the candle looked amazing, and then this really confusing dip ensued. But I'm not afraid of that. I think that this is a healthier move. Definitely a healthier move. So we had stronger base here. The RSI is coming up off of 47. This looks good. Now I want to see it reach all the way up into the oversold region. Definitely don't want to see it turn around near 65. If daily chart RSI reaches below 65 and then turns down, that would be the worst case scenario for the bulls. The MACD showing the fake out that we got. This shorter period, the blue line, coming down, choking into the longer period, the yellow line. But this line just pierces through neutral and goes up. And this was a psych out. So I like it. Looks good. And we talked about the volume already. Implied volatility did spike, did jump up today, which I did expect. I did expect to jump in implied volatility. But I want to see a bigger jump in implied volatility, a meaningful move upward. And I'm going to go into auto zoom here and pull back. You'll see that since the June run, implied volatility has been falling. It reaches a bottom, it comes up, we have a minor high, higher high, higher high, higher high, and we see higher low right now, the bounce today establishing this low. And that's happened before. Right here in January, you see the long-term downtrend in implied volatility, and then a low is set, and then you have some minor highs, higher highs, and a major higher low, and then boom, we saw this big run up on this implied volatility, and that's the kind of move I'm expecting at this point. I don't want to say tomorrow, but very, very soon, and my analysis would support some big moves as soon as tomorrow, even before tomorrow. But remember, the price must surpass this peak to break out of the potential top formations that are also forming. Overall, I think that if you're going to be hyped up, this is the most rational time to do so.